So I don't know if you've heard of. Let me know if you've heard about this. I'm pretty sure Iranians in the live chat know what I'm going to be talking about. But if you don't, this is a major escalation. You see the two people on the screen? You guys, these two judges. I saw somebody on the live chat and earlier saying that I think these two judges, these two people look nervous. They don't. They're not nervous because they be dead. These two people be dead. They have been assassinated, and this is a big deal because these are not your typical mullahs. I know, like for a lot of foreigners, all these mullahs look the same. They're all just old bearded men with either a white or a black turban on their head, depending on whether they're Sayyid or not. If they're not a Sayyid, the turban is white, and if they're a Sayyid, the turban is black. But these are not your typical mullahs. These are Supreme Court judges. Supreme Court, two of the Supreme Court judges in Iran have been assassinated. These are the people responsible for a huge number of executions, especially in the 80s, but even after the 80s, which we will go over. But we had, I don't know if we could even call it executions. These people were in charge of massacres. They handed death sentences to thousands of people. In the 80s, it got to the numbers. Some estimates say 30,000 people of executions with of people that were just uh, people who were against the regime. People, mass executions in numbers unimaginable, without access to any lawyers, without any chance of defending themselves, without even any court hearings. I mean, today we have, when in Iran, when the Islamic Republic executes people who are anti-regime, they have a kangaroo show trial with a lawyer that they pick for you, that is actually on their side anyways. But they have a show that they act like you have a defense. But back then, these two, they were executing people left and right in the thousands. Like they would loading them on trucks and hanging them, just like they turned it into a death industry. It was insane. It's one of the most forgotten massacres of this century in the 1980s in Iran. Up to 30,000 people were executed in a short amount of time, and these people were part of it without any hearings, without any lawyers, for the crime of being against the regime. And these two were just executed. And they continue doing executions, but we will go over some of the people that they executed and some of the people that they tried to execute. Yeah, so somebody saying can you saying sounds genocidal, right? And they were executed by the janitor. Apparently, okay, there's still some speculations about this. Somehow the janitor, Sarah in the live chat, is that the best translation for Abdarchi? Oh, Gene, I don't know the answer to that question. So, guys, there's only one judge in Iran that is higher ranking than these two judges. That's how high these are. The only person above these people is Ejai, which is basically the head of the judiciary branch in Iran. That's how high these two people were. Like this is getting the executions. And guys, do you know why this? A lot of Iranian people are celebrating this because so far, let me actually bring an image. Most of the celebrations that Iranian people have been enjoying in the past couple of months, I mean, in the last year, it has been insanely good for the Iranian people. But most of these assassinations seem to have, well, either were or some of them seem to have been gifts by Mossad or the IDF, right? But this, remember, I told you that a lot of Iranians are becoming, falling more and more in love with Israel because Israel is doing the things that Iranian people wish they could do themselves, but they can't. So they celebrate Israel doing that for them. Well, this is now something that Iranian people have done themselves. This is Iranian people are now picking up the work of Mossad, basically. Some people, oh, Alfred is saying T boy. Yeah, T boy. Okay, T boy of office. Yeah, Abdarchi. So the person who did this is the person who worked in that court. So this is the building that this was done in was is called Kach Gaza. What does it call it? It's basically the Supreme Court, like the building dedicated to the central building for the Supreme Court, which is a very very secure location. And the man, and also owning guns is illegal in Iran. So it's weird that that man managed to not only have a gun but only sneak it into that building. Some people are suggesting that maybe he was not the janitor. Again, Abdarchi is not the best translation I could came up with was janitor. Alfred is saying tea boy is the better translation. So he's the person that just brings tea to people, right? And he had the person that did this, he himself was working at this building doing this for 10 years. Apparently, again, these are what we know so far. Some people are saying no, the Islamic Republic is lying. It was not the janitor, it was their security guard. They're trying to reduce his position as a way to maybe hide the fact that people that the armed people are raising against the regime, right? And people are saying if it was the T boy, T man, I think should say T man. If it was the T man, how did he get a gun? How was he so good at carrying out this operation? Some people are not believing it. Some people are believing it. There's so many speculations. I don't know. And some people are saying this operation was too advanced. This guy must have been a Mossad agent, a secret Mossad agent. How did he know how to do this? I don't know. There's so many speculations. Anyways, but as of right now, the main understanding is that the guy was the T man in the building. For some reason, decided to kill these judges that are responsible. These two are responsible for the executions of thousands. I'm not exaggerating. Thousands of Iranian people, and now they have been executed in their own building. In their own building. And let me just show you this graph that a lot of Iranians have made. So this is what people are posting on Iranian social media, celebrating all these deaths. So in spring, you see Zahedi, you see Raisi, you see the former foreign minister of Iran. These two died in a helicopter accident. This guy was killed by Israel in the Damascus embassy or consulate by Israel, Zahedi. So this is how it started. This is the year the Iranian people. I don't know what Yahya Sinwar is missing from this picture, right? But Iranian people, many Iranian people are saying like this was such a blessed year for Iranian people. So this is how spring started. In summer, we had Ismail Hania. In, in fall, we had Nasrallah. We had the fall of Assad, right? We have so many other. We had top IRGC commanders dying. We had other people from Hezbollah dying. Fall was like basically peak celebration season for Iranians. See, as you can see, most of these are blessings, gifts given by Israel to the Iranian people. We don't know how Raisi died. Was it Israel? Was it the Islamic Republic itself? Was it an accident? A lot of people saying it could not have been an accident. And now we're now in winter, and winter like this is a lot of people are saying this is progress because finally in winter, Iranian people themselves are doing some of the takeouts, right? So, and like this is fantastic. Oh, by the way, YouTube, I'm just reporting what Iranian people are celebrating. I'm not encouraging any violence, okay? So for legal reasons, we're not encouraging anything here on YouTube. I'm just reporting on what the Iranian people are experiencing and feeling, okay? So, and also the day a lot of Iranians are posting this on social media. They're suggesting that the day that this execution has happened should be the should be celebrated every year as the as the annual Tman Appreciation Day. Okay, so they're like a lot of Iranians are celebrating just T-men in general, like, or janitors in general. Like they say, like, yeah, T-men, I think is a better translation, right? They're like, okay, today we should. This is a good day for us to make it into an annual T-man celebration day. And let me actually show you another picture I saw. Yeah, so we could see like some people were on the writing on walls in Iran saying, "Thank you, T-Man. Thank you, T-Man." Yeah, can you sing T-Man Appreciation Day? Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention he took the T-Man. He took his own life after. So he killed those two people, and then he took his own life, which which suggests to me that he wasn't a Mossad agent. To me, it suggests that he was a man that was just trying to take revenge or reduce the evil in the world. It's so we don't know yet. The guy worked there. The guy was working with these people there for 10 years. 10 years he was working there. So let me actually show you some more stuff. So a lot of pro-regime Iranians are calling us out and saying like, "Oh, you're showing your true faces. This is disgusting of you. Why are you celebrating terrorism? Why are you celebrating assassinations? This shows that you guys who are acting like you want a revolution to bring democracy and peace, you are just evil yourself. You should always condemn terrorism in all its forms." So I saw this meme being posted when the same people were so upset when Trump was being assassinated. They were like so angry that the bullet missed Trump, and the now that's what they were, the same accounts that were saying like, "Oh my god, I wish the bullet was just a few centimeters the other direction." Now the same accounts are saying, "Oh, terror should always be condemned, no matter who's doing it," which is such a stupid, like, why would they call it terrorism, this act? Because Iranian people are not terrorized from this action. Like, terrorism is something that you do to bring terror into the hearts and minds of people. Well, what I'm saying mostly is celebration. So how is this terrorism if the effect is not terror, is the effect is celebration? So the act is not an act of terrorism, right? The act of terrorism is meant to bring terror to the not to the minds of just a small group of people, but to the general public. I don't know. Maybe let me know if this fits terrorism or not, right? But so this meme is trying to call them out for their hypocrisy. Oh, actually, let me show you a video of the people who are terrorized because of this. So these are the bodies of those two judges, and these are the family members and the pro-regime people. So these are the two judges' bodies. پشیمان می شود. You can see it's wrapped in the flag of the Islamic Republic. So you can see there's two bodies. One was on that side, so that there's two judges, one here and the other one is on the other side. Right. Okay. By the way, the name of the judges was Razini, and I think I'm pronouncing the other one right. Yeah, Maurice and Razini. So these are the two judges. Okay, these are weird last names. As an Iranian, I haven't heard these last names among average people before. But let me go to let me actually show you that even religious Iranians God believing religious Iranians are happy. Look at this, because this guy, this woman, this lady, let's see what she's saying. And this, she's posting this from inside Iran. So let's see what she's saying, for example.
بهرام که گور گرفتی همه عمر دیدی که چگونه گور بهرام گرفت به یاد اون شبی که پدر
So I don't know what that poetry means at the beginning. If Sarah knows, let me know.
به یاد اون شبی که پدر محمد قبادلوی عزیزمون توی اون سرما و یخبندون دردش رو حتی اون غم و اون داغی رو که داشت رو حتی نمیتونست فریاد هم بزنه و ما کنار این خانواده ها این دردها رو به دوش کشیدیم بیشک.
So she's remembering the people who have been executed in the most harsh ways, and the family of the people who have experienced the execution of their
که
loved
دست
ones.
خداوند برای اجرای عدالت از آستین و دست فرد دیگه بیرون میاد که عدالت خودش رو
So she's again. So see, this is a religious woman. So this is not like us, atheist, anti-Islam people. She's saying the hand of God comes out from the hands of someone else, and it brings justice. So this religious Muslim Iranian is saying what happened to these judges was the hand of God. So that person who assassinated these judges was basically acting like the hand of God, bringing justice.
اجرای عدالت از آستین و دست فرد دیگه بیرون میاد که عدالت خودش رو اجرا بکنه و بیش باد آدم‌های شجاع و کسانی که این گونه با شجاعت جونشون کف دستشون میذارن و انتقام می
So, and she's saying, I hope there are more brave people like this that will sacrifice their own life and show this much bravery to take
کف
revenge.
دستشون میذارن و انتقام میگیرن از قاتل و افرادی که به ناحق حکم دادن.
To take revenge of evil people and people who are governing falsely, and
میگیرن از قاتل و افرادی که
from murderers.
به ناحق حکم دادن.
Yeah, and sorry. So I'm saying, so people who get revenge from um, murderers and people from that give past sentences without justice, unjustly. Okay, so Sarah is saying, I think she's the mother of one of the murdered protesters 2 years ago. Okay, thank you, Sarah, for that context.
بدون شک کسایی که ظلم میکنن به مردم عاقبتی جز این نخواهند داشت و
So she's saying, without a doubt, people who oppress people, who wrong people, this is their destiny. Without a doubt, this is their destiny.
همونجور که گفتم فراخوان خداوند شروع شده. یقین داشته باشید
She's saying that God's call to justice has
فراخوان
started.
خداوند شروع شده. یقین داشته باشید به عدل الهی و صبور باشید.
So she's saying, do not doubt Allah's justice. Okay, so I just want you to know, it's not just anti-Islam people or anti-regime. You can see that somebody who's talking about Allah's justice is celebrating what has happened as Allah doing justice, right? So I just want you to know how widespread this hatred for the regime is and is spreading. Okay, so let me actually what is this? Let me see. There are many memes. This is okay. So this one is saying, for the first time in the history of the Islamic Republic, justice was served in the Supreme Court. So this is within the Supreme Court building. This is the first time, or Kachedat Gosteri, they calling the. I think maybe the Supreme Court building, that would be the best translation, would be the Koch. So they're building the main judicial building, right? So this is the first, because that a lot of people consider that building to be a building to the source of injustice, not justice, except this day. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you so much. Wow, very generous super chat. Thank you, saying Zendabad, Iran from Israel. Oh, that is so sweet. Together we will beat Islam and bring about a new age of Cyrus in the Middle East. Hamra, what? Hamrah Mizanin. همراه میزنیم. Okay, so the first part is saying, long live Iran from Israel. Thank you so much. The rest is English. Together we will beat Islam and bring about a new age of Cyrus in the Middle East. Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, within the word, well, new age of Cyrus without the expansionism, right? Like, Cyrus was great for his time. Today, Cyrus was fantastic, but for his time, right? So we don't just, I just want to make sure people don't think that we are interested in expanding Iranian borders beyond where it is right now. But I don't want to nitpick. I appreciate I understand what is being said here. I appreciate it. Guys, I'm so bad at this. I nitpick all the time, right? Yeah, Cyrus, just as Cyrus was the best, so this is how I read it. Just as Cyrus was the best for his time, we want the best thing for Iran's today. That's how I read it, right? So fantastic message. And also, I don't know what the last part means. Hamrah mizanim. Oh yeah, I think you're saying we will we will hit them together on the same path, right? Is that what you mean? Yes. So thank you so much for this very generous super chat. I appreciate that. Yeah. So Cyrus is a really great symbol, not just for Iranian nationalism, but also a great symbol for Israeli-Iranian unity, because Cyrus is a symbol that both Israelis and Iranian appreciate. So it's a very powerful symbol, and there's a lot of utility to use Cyrus's name as a message of as a symbol of unity. Just be careful for people not to misuse the symbol for other purposes. But yes, I love referring to Cyrus as a symbol of unity. Yeah, so Cyrus saying so sweet of you. Kenny, thank you so much, Kenny, for the 5 memberships. Yes, Cyrus. Oh, people are saying, oh, people don't know what it means. Yes, Cyrus the Great. We call him in Iran, we call him Kurosh. And remember, a lot of pre-Islamic Iranian figures like Cyrus are often used as promoting nationalism against Islamism in Iran. So Cyrus is the main figure, is the main name that people revere, as opposed to people like Muhammad, Hussein, Ali. Cyrus is seen as a symbol of nationalism against Islamism. And there's also another figure post-Islam that a lot of Iranians use as a symbol of nationalism against Islamism, which is Ferdowsi, which was the Iranian poet. So the 2 main figures that Iranian nationalists try to use as a symbol of unity against the Islamist takeover of the country. Number 1 is Cyrus. Number 2 is Ferdowsi, right? Mohsen, that's not fair. That's not fair, Mohsen, that you're saying that to me in the live chat. Okay. Oh yeah, in Hebrew they call him Kurosh as well. That's interesting. Okay, so let's go to the next. I have so many things. Yeah, I have to go through these a lot faster with you guys, right? I already covered that one. I already covered. Oh yeah, so remember Ejei. So I told you these 2 judges are the highest judges except one guy. This is the highest judge. So if this guy is executed, this is as close to Khamenei as it could get. So the highest person in Iran is Khamenei. The second highest used to be Qasem Soleimani, which Trump took out. This guy Ejei is the head of the judiciary, picked directly by Khamenei, and he is at least in the top 5. If Khamenei is number 1, he's something either 3, 4, or 5. That's how important he is. So let's see what he
چه
said.
میخوریم به حال واقعا همه شهدا و جا مانده ایم. خدا انشالله این مدال افتخاری که به عزیزان داده انشالله ما هم مشمول عنایت حضرت حق قرار بگیریم.
So he's saying that he's jealous of these judges. He's jealous of these judges who became martyrs, and he hopes that they get the same, he gets the same outcome, which is weird because that's what a lot of Iranians hope as well. And I saw a video of Khamenei also saying the same thing, that these two judges must have done such great things in their lives that God blessed them with martyrdom. Khamenei said exactly the same thing. And he's also saying that he's jealous that this happened to them, which as soon as he said that, a lot of Iranians went and found his picture in the funeral of these judges, which is him with all of his bodyguards around him. So I could count, like that's AJ in the middle, right? That's AJ in the middle. And there's one bodyguard here, one bodyguard here, one bodyguard here, another bodyguard here, another bodyguard over there. And a lot of people are saying, well, if you are so jealous and ready to die, what's up with all these freaking bodyguards? All right, so that's like, okay, like I don't think you're as jealous as you make it seem. And again, Khamenei himself was saying that, oh my God, this what a blessing to these people. God blessed them with martyrdom. And a lot of people called him out as well for saying the same thing, because when he came to do the death prayer, there's such in Islam we have the death prayer. When somebody dies, you come and do the prayer next to their body, and it's the greatest honor for these pro-regime Iranians for Khamenei himself to come and do your death prayer. They call it namaz mayyit. And when he was there, people recognized that he was wearing a bulletproof vest.
ثنين فزد في إحسانهما
Right.
وإن كان مسيئين فتجاوز عنهم.
Yeah, so people are like, yeah, what is it with why are you guys wearing bulletproof vests if you're so in love with martyrdom? They're like, you guys are terrified and you're scared that you're next, and you're all acting like, oh yeah, sure, we want to die. I mean, if you want to die this badly, okay, we could make like let Mossad please make. I mean, don't complain when Mossad comes and makes your dreams come true. Like we're completely in line. Like our dreams, your wishes and the Iranian people's wishes are completely in line. So let's just come to an agreement then. Let's just make this happen, right? I don't know. Let me actually show you a video of what these people used to be responsible for in the 1980s, because a lot of people redid a mock-up of what it used to be like in the 1980s. And again, it didn't stop, but it used to be insane in the 1980s. Let me show you how it was.
بارها اسم هیئت
So they call it Hayat Marg, which is, how do you translate this? The Council of Death. These two judges, and Raisi as well, by the way, he was in this Council of Death as well. The way that it wasn't even a court. People would just come in fast. They would come through a door. They will hear their sentence without any investigations, without any access to a lawyer, without any chance of defense. They will come sit on a chair in front of the judges. They will get their death sentence, and they will boom, 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 boom. They will go through the door, and they will be the next person, right? So this is what those rooms look like in the 1980s. So watch this. This was in
بارها اسم هیئت مرگ، اتاق مرگ و راهروی مرگ رو شنیدیم.
So he's saying we have heard many times the name of the council of death, the room of death, or the corridor of death. So now we did a mock-up to show you how it looks.
و راهروی مرگ رو شنیدیم. در این قسمت بازسازی شده هیئت مرگ به چه صورت می نشستن و زندانی هایی که می اومدن روی صندلی مقابل هیئت.
So he's saying we're showing you how they were sitting and the prisoners who came and sat in front of the
هیئت مرگ در
they would sit in front of the council of
توی
death.
یکی دو دقیقه‌ای یا به سلولشون برمیگشتن یا به انتهای راهروی مرگ برای اعدام فرستاده می‌شدن.
So you're saying right there, either they will go back to their cell or they will go to this corridor here to be executed right away.
در این قسمت هم راهروی مرگه. بعد
So this is what they were called the corridor of death. So after that, they will go to this corridor.
از بازجویی توسط هیئت مرگ به راهروی مرگ می اومدن.
So you can see here they would be lining up to be executed. Oh, that's called the execution hall. So these are not real bodies, by the way, YouTube. These are just mannequins. These are mock-ups. So please don't strike me down. So this was at the end of the corridor. They had a room like this, and they would just do them like it wasn't just one execution at a time because the numbers were so high. They would just do them a couple of them in a row at the same time.
بچه ها اونجا حلق‌آویز می‌کردن. ابعاد واقعی این توی اونجا چیزی بوده 14 در 50 متر حدوداً بوده.
So you're saying the whole thing was 15 meters and 15 meters and 14 to 50 meters.
یک در کوچیک
So it's telling you the width and the length.
کی بودش اونجا که من خودم دیده بودم اون در رو که در کوچیکی بود که
He said like there was a small door which I also so this guy was there. He said I remember seeing there was a small
اونجا که من
door
خودم
there.
دیده بودم اون در رو که در کوچیکی بود که جنازه ها رو در واقع از اون پشت خارج می‌کردن.
And that they used to take out the bodies through that door at the back.
که
Guys, does this not give you Auschwitz vibes? Like they turned. I know it's not at all at the scale of Auschwitz, but the way that they managed it, like they had like like I visited Auschwitz and I saw how industrialized the whole thing was. And these guys are not as effective as the Nazis. Like that was turned into a very effective death machine. Like I saw how efficient, and not efficient in a good way, but in a bad way, that whole death machine was to make sure that every second, like when I went to Auschwitz, I saw how the Nazis were calculating every second to make the whole thing as efficient as possible, right? And this, when I saw this video, it just reminded me of Auschwitz, like the process in which like there's an interest, this is death corridor, you go there, you get executed, and then bodies come out of there. It just gave me so much of a Auschwitz vibe.
این شکل بالای سن و لبه سن می‌بردن و تنابه‌دار به گردن بچه‌ها مینداختن.
So again, remember the numbers are up to 30,000 that they killed in this way. And again, once they took their bodies, they would load all these bodies on trucks, and there were trucks of bodies that would just take these away, and they will bury them in unmarked graves. And they were very insistent on making sure that the graves are unmarked, right? And just remember, all these people, imagine if 30,000 people have died this way, and then that was just in the 80s, and then continued all these years till now. Imagine all of these people's families. Then imagine like how many people are celebrating these judges being killed. Like a lot of the families of these people never thought that they would ever experience celebrating the death of their people who killed their loved ones, right? Yeah. By the way, I will read more super chats, guys. If you I will read the comments that Jean is highlighting, and also super chats between these news items. I just want to appreciate the memberships and the super chats. It really helps us support the channel, right? So yes, exactly. That's the best way to describe it. Industrial scale punishments, no justice. So let me actually show you. I have so much more to show you. Okay, there's a thing that I cannot. There's a video of one of these two judges that I cannot show. It's the one on the left. Okay, this guy, the guy on the left. I cannot show you this, but because it shows. Sorry, here. Let me bring this on screen. Yeah, so the judge on the, not the judge on the right, this one, he's saying something in this video, but unfortunately the video I have shows the people he's talking about being hanged. And YouTube would not want me to show you that, but I know I can play the audio for you, and I will translate the audio without showing the video. So let me play it. So let me know if you could hear this. I'll translate it. Again, I cannot show this video because it's showing what it's showing right now that I cannot show is two young boys being hanged, but it shows that it's not in a official hanging place. It's just in a ruin, in a semi-built building, in a not finished built buildings. They're just hanged from the skeleton, from the iron skeleton of the building, in a building, in a under construction building in a street. Two young boys just hanged, right? And it's showing that while this judge that I'm showing you on the screen talking about this very incident. So let me tell you what he's saying.
که عده از زندانده آمدن گفتن آقا روحیه بچه ها خرابه، شهید دادیم فلان اینا نبرن کرمانشاه، همونجا حکم اجرا کنن. یک ساختمان نیمه کاره بود سر یه استراحی که طبقه اولیش ساخته شده بود، طبقه دومش اسکلتش داده بودن، اما چیزو پاق نداده بودن.
So he's saying, this guy that I'm showing you on the screen, okay? He's saying that there were some Basiji, some of their own people, some of their own soldiers, right? Regime soldiers. They were not feeling very well. Their morale was low because they have given a lot of more martyrs. I think this might be during war times with Iraq, maybe. And so basically saying, because they had given martyrs, they were experiencing low morale. So he said, let's not send these people to execution somewhere else. Let's just execute them here to boost morale among our young soldiers. So he says, we found a building that was, the first floor was just being built. So, and the skeleton of the building, yeah, Sarah saying, what the F am I hearing? Yeah, he's saying the skeleton of the building was just exposed. So we just decided to, instead of sending them, we just decided to hang them right there to boost morale because our soldiers were a little bit sad. All right. So this is the type of people these mofos were. And remember, the way that they hang people in Iran is not the way you see in Hollywood Western movies where there's a door opens under your feet and you just fall and your neck breaks and then you die. That's not how they do it in Iran. In Iran, they put the noose around your neck and they lift you so your neck doesn't break and you die. You just slowly suffocate to death. And there are reports that the pressure on your neck is so much that some people chew their own tongues out while dying. And sometimes it has taken up to 20 minutes for somebody to die. They have like doctors there to check if somebody is dead or not. And sometimes for some people, it has taken even up to 20 minutes. These are the people who are ruling Iran. So you can see why people are happy when they see somebody like this is executed. I have more examples of why these people were evil, pure evil. Let me show you a Sunni guy was executed. So this is a Sunni guy. So he was eventually executed. But this video of him is after he got his death sentence, before he was executed. So he's talking about the way, and this is more recent. This is not like in the 1980s. Okay, so I just want to show, even though the 1980s was the peak execution time in Iran, it doesn't mean that it stopped, right? And again, this guy is like a religious Sunni person, and I just want to make sure that because we are anti-Islam, and a lot of us liberal Iranians might sometimes only focus on the more liberal secular Iranians who are anti-regime and are being wronged. But I just want to be fair here even though, you know, the religious Sunni people in Iran, they're also being oppressed a lot for being Sunni. And I don't, you know, they're religious, and I just want to make sure that when I say things to you, it's not, I'm not ignoring that just because I'm an atheist, secular guy that wants Islam to end. I want Islam to end. I'm anti-Islam, but at the same time, I want to make sure that you guys understand that in Iran there's a anti-Sunni bias is very, very strong. Okay, and the Sunnis are being oppressed in Iran for being Sunni. Okay, so just want to make sure that my bias doesn't stop me from reporting things like that to you guys, right? So let's see what this guy's saying. Wait, so the caption at the beginning, it says بالاخره دعای مادر جگرخون شهرام این گلوی قاضی رو گرفت. Okay, so he's saying eventually, so again, this whoever posted this believes in God and believes in prayers. So the caption says eventually the prayer of the mother of this man managed to come and take revenge from the judge who did this to him. So the judge, basically one of the judges who died was the person who handed out a death sentence for this man. And now that this judge is dead, people have this video of him has resurfaced. So let's see what he says here. He's saying his entire court hearing took 5 to 6 minutes. That was the entire court hearing for him. So he's saying there was a judge, an intelligence, a representative, somebody from the intelligence, and his secretary. So basically saying there was only like 3 people there. So he said they read the accusation against me, and then and they said that this was what he did was against an action against the national security. So he was charged with threatening national security. Okay? Muharebe is an Islamic term, comes from the Quran directly. Muharebe usually are used for people who use weapon or something. So he's saying that the lawyer that they picked for me, so there are certain lawyers, he mentions the type of lawyer. The type of lawyers, whenever it becomes a security or anti-regime position, then in Iran, you don't pick your lawyer. They pick your lawyer for you, right? So in Iran, the justice system for, other normal day-to-day things, it's not efficient, but it works kind of normal as you could get in a third world backward country. People pick their own lawyers and blah, blah, blah. But as soon as something becomes national security, then those cases are treated differently. Or if you're just anti-regime, then you don't pick your lawyer. They pick your lawyer for you, and that lawyer is either very limited in what they can do, or that lawyer is just basically playing for the other side. So that's the type of lawyer he had, and he said, yeah, muharebe is basically a Quranic term. It means war against God. However, every Muslim community defines what that means in a different way. Nobody, I've never seen agreement among any two groups of Muslims about exactly what the hell that means, which is exactly how the Quran works. Basically, you could basically make it mean whatever you want.
محاربه در قانون یعنی کسی که به اصطلاح محاربه رو واسه کسی به کار میبرن که اسلحه دست گرفته باشه، سلب آزادی و امنیت مردم رو کرده باشه.
So he's saying my lawyer, even though it was a lawyer picked by the regime, he got up and said, dear judge, muharebe, the term muharebe is used legally in Iran for somebody who has used a weapon, who has risked the safety of people in a way.
این موکل من حتی چاقوی میوه‌خوری هم دست نگرفته. یعنی
And my lawyer said that I didn't even I didn't even have a kitchen knife. I didn't even have, what are those knives that you use for eating that are not even sharp? I don't know what you call them. That you use them for, peeling fruit. So not those sharp kitchen knives, though, like those, the one that maybe you use for buttering bread or something like that, right? He said the defendant, like this guy, he didn't even have that type of a knife. He didn't have a, like, why are you charging him with muharabeh? What did he do? Like, yeah, dinner knife, exactly. He wasn't even holding a dinner knife, let alone a weapon.
واسه من یعنی این وکیل من این تیکه حرفم تونه بزنه، اکثر وکیلا اینم نمیتونستن. میگم
He says, like, he's saying that the fact that my lawyer even said this, that's beyond what most other lawyers would even say. So he thinks that he's actually, it's impressive that his lawyer even said that against the judge, given that with these cases, other lawyers, they don't even say that. They're just quiet. You see the level of justice that you get in Iran? He was impressed that his lawyer actually said something against the judge. God damn it.
بعد
By the way, this guy has been executed. Okay, so he's dead. This guy, this is he's just describing how the justice system worked before he died.
من اصلا یک بارم نتونستم با وکیلم حرف بزنم.
Oh, and he's saying I wasn't even allowed to talk to my lawyer even once. So imagine he was executed, a lawyer was picked for him, and he had not a single chance to even talk to his lawyer before his execution.
بعد از نه قبل از دادگاه نه بعد از دادگاه
Not before the court, not after the court, never.
نه اصلا الان وکیلم تا حالا نتونسته، اصلا نمیدونم اسمشم چیه. خلاصه من
He's saying, I don't even know the name of my lawyer. The guy's saying, I don't even know my lawyer's name. Wow.
اینه که در یعنی مظلومانه ترین شیوه منو دادگاهی کردن و اونا ظالمانه ترین به اصطلاح.
So he's saying I was judged in the most oppressive way.
شیوه رو اتخاذ کردن، منم مظلومانه. اصلا نمیتونم از خودم، وقتی دفاعم میکردم میگفت تو خفه شو سنی کثافت.
He's like, I wasn't able to defend myself. And he says, anytime I try to speak, the judge, the same judge that died, right, was executed, that was assassinated. He says, every time I try to speak, the judge would say, you shut the F up, you dirty Sunni. Listen to this part again. Wow.
شیوه رو اتخاذ کردن، منم مظلومانه. اصلا نمیتونم از خودم، وقتی دفاعم میکردم میگفت تو خفه شو سنی کثافت.
تو خفه شو سنی کثافت. You shut up, you dirty Sunni. That's what the judge would say whenever he tried to speak. Again, I don't understand all these pro-Palestinian Sunnis who are defending the Islamic Republic. Do you understand that everything within the judiciary system in Iran is handpicked by Khamenei himself? Khamenei himself. And you see how anti-Sunni this regime is? These are the Supreme Court judges. These are the Supreme Court judges in Iran. And when the guy wanted to say anything, the judge would say, you shut up, you dirty Sunni. And you Sunnis, for your so-called pro-Palestinian agenda, this is the regime that you're defending. Unbelievable. So, by the way, this video was released by a Sunni channel as well. So maybe listen to your own Sunni brothers and sisters. Let me actually show you. Oh, by the way, this is kind of funny. Look at this. So, on pro-regime accounts, they're celebrating the judge who died, and just look at the Photoshop that they did on the judge. So that the way that they're celebrating him, to see this is the judge. This is the judge who was executed on the right. But this is what you're now saying on the left is what you actually see on pro-regime Iranian social media. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, look at the profit. Yeah. So yeah, this is this is how the regime is celebrating the memory of the judge as a martyr. They're making him look it. They can make what? Okay. Okay, sure, whatever. Let me actually show you what a lot of people, what a lot of Iranians' experiences with these judges were like. Let me show you. Not during the 1980s, but now, because the 1980s were the worst. Okay, it was the worst. However, let's see, as things chilled out a bit, how bad things still were for people, right? So one of the judge, Muhammad Mughisa رو با تیر جنگی وسط تهران کشتن. So this lady is saying that Muhammad Mughisa, that one of the judges, they killed him with a gun in the middle of Tehran, and now she's saying, she's giving a date of her experience, and he said that he came to Evin prison. Evin prison is the most famous prison in Iran, in Tehran. با چند نفر دیگه که بازداشت شده های 25 نفر به تفصیل مسائل که به گفت وسط تهران شما رو باید آتیش. Okay, so she's saying that when I was in prison, this lady was apparently in Evin prison as well, and this judge came to Evin prison, and he came to the prisoners, and he told these prisoners that they should be burning you alive in the middle of Tehran, so that it's a lesson for other people. So there's a lot of messages on Twitter of people who experience seeing this judge in prison, noticing how he talks to people, noticing how he treats. He was very insulting. Both of them were extremely insulting. I think one of them was more insulting than the other one to the prisoners and the way he talked to them. I remember seeing somebody also saying that every time somebody else got a sentence from another judge that wasn't a death sentence, when he passed them in the hallway, he would come to them and he would say, "You were so lucky that you didn't get me as a judge. You would have definitely gotten a death sentence if I was your judge." He would tell that to people. He was so proud of how many death sentences he handed out. Like he saw that as the high number, as a something to brag about. One of them also I saw a video of him bragging about the fact that during the 1980s, they removed one of the judges because he was giving too many death sentences, and they put him in charge, and they noticed that he's actually giving more death sentences, and they're like, "You're actually worse." And he was mentioning that memory as if to brag about that. They're like, "Oh, they brought me in because they thought I was less extreme, but I was actually even more extreme." Right? So let's look at the other tweet. So this one is saying Muhammad Mughisa و Ali Razini کشته شدن. So both of these judges were killed. Mughisa قاضی پرونده من بود. Oh, so this guy is saying Mughisa was the judge for my case, and he told me بارود در دهانت گذاشت. باید بارود در دهانت گذاشت فرموشه. So like when he was my judge, he told me that they should put gunpowder in your mouth and blow it up. That's what he was. This Mughisa guy was famous for saying stuff like this to the people who were under him. Let me see another one. Okay, so this guy this is another very famous judge that a lot of people want dead, Salavati. Okay, so we'll see whatever happens to him. But Salavati is very famous as well. So this guy's judge was Salavati, which was none of these two. So he's saying my judge was Salavati, not these two were not my judge. However, I saw people in prison. While I was in prison, I knew people who their judge was this Mughisa guy. Yeah, he was okay. So, and every single one of them described their court hearing in this way. It was a short court hearing with shouting insulting, and long sentences. So basically, it's very interesting because Salavati is famous for being evil, but apparently Mughise, who died, was even worse. So all the people who got Mughise as their judge, they remember he was like shouting, always insulting them in the worst way, and always giving them the longest sentences. Oh, sorry, saying Salavati, what? Salavati is higher than those two evils. Yeah. Okay. So Salavati is more famous because I heard, I don't know if he's higher because they're all Supreme Court judges. Salavati is high as well. Yeah. But a lot of people hate Salavati too. So a lot of people wish Salavati was on the list of people who died. Oh, so I saw this on Iranian social media, which I wanted to show you guys so you guys have a better understanding.